we celebrate the feast of Saint Therese. She was declared by John Paul II as the patroness of the missions. Saint Therese is a Carmelite nun. She is a contemplative. She is living inside the cloister. I have a blood sister, an elder sister who is also a Carmelite. She is in Cagayan de Oro, and she stayed inside the cloister, and they can only go out if there is a very important reason for going out. But most of the time, they will stay inside the cloister. That is why my mother at first resisted that she will enter the contemplative life. Kay dili siya gusto nga dili na niya makita ang iyang anak. But we may wonder, why did John Paul II declared her as patroness of the missions na dili man siya makagawas sa cloister? I think maayo siguro kung atong tan-awon unsa man ang tinuod ug lawom nga kahulugan sa misyon. In the gospel, we heard from Saint Luke the return of the 72 who were sent by Jesus for mission. And then they returned rejoicing because for them mission was successful. Mission was successful. They were able to defeat the power of Satan. They were able to cure the sick. They were able to evangelize. And then they expressed how joyful they were because of the things that they have done in the name of Jesus. But let us pay attention to the response of Jesus. He said, "You are rejoicing, but not because you are successful, not just because you are successful in your mission, but rejoice rather because your names are written in heaven." Your names are written in heaven. What does that mean? Mission is not primarily about work. It is not primarily about the place. It does not necessarily follow that one is sent to another land or foreign land to do missionary work, that this person automatically becomes a missionary. No. Mission is primarily about a spirit, a missionary spirit. It is living a life not about myself and not for myself, but it is about Jesus, about God, about His values. When Jesus said, "Do not rejoice because the spirits, the evil spirits, were subjected to you, but rejoice rather because your names are written in heaven." It is possible that we do something for others, but we do not do it with a missionary spirit. We can do something good so that people will appreciate us. That is not a missionary spirit. We do things because someone is watching us. That is not a missionary spirit. A missionary spirit is giving myself to something that is good so that people will remember the goodness of God. Your names are written in heaven. Meaning to say, rejoice because you become part of me. You belong to me. You are already enrolled using the term of the academe. Na-enroll na ka sa St. Theresa College. You are part of the academic community. And because you are part of the academic community, you will receive all the services and the blessings of this institution. And when Jesus said, your names are written in heaven, that means you will enjoy the blessings that you cannot imagine you will be receiving from God. And that is the cause of rejoicing. At times, when we do something good, we attribute it to ourselves, and we become arrogant. At times, our goodness is dependent on the number of viewers and likes na makita nato over the net. But our real consolation for us who are missionaries can only come from God. If we look at the core values of Saint Theresa, service, transformation, commitment. These three core values shape our missionary spirit as an institution. How do we translate this missionary spirit in the very concrete reality here at St. Theresa College? Service. People all around are serving. But what is distinctive? What is different from those students and employees and employer administration and staff and personnel who are working and studying in St. Theresa? Service. It's a humble service. It is a kind of service that is willing to bend like Jesus washing the feet of the disciples. Humble service. It is not arrogant service. It is not a service that seeks appreciation. If appreciation comes, thanks be to God. But if it does not come, we can just say, I am just doing what I am supposed to do. Humble service. Dili kinahanglan nga dunay makakita kanako so that I will do my task. Even if no one sees me, monitors me, I will continue to do my task. For students, how do you live out the missionary spirit? If you just study for grade, you are not living a missionary spirit. If you just study because there is an exam, that is not a missionary spirit. A missionary spirit is, whether there is an exam or not, I will continue to study regularly every day or every night, because I am not doing this to have high grades or just to pass the exam. Usahay na yung mga estudyante nga mag-ingon, kung saan man ang sobra, makapasar lang, okay na. You study not for yourself. You study for life. You are preparing yourself for life. And your studies is in view of the kind of service that you will perform and you will deliver to the community and to the people. So do not just settle for mediocrity. A missionary spirit gives everything that are inside him or her. And transformation. A humble service is contagious. It can transform the environment, the working place, the academic community. If we can see a student who is faithful to his or her studies, that student becomes a catalyst, someone who can edify the whole studentry, the whole student body. Any genuine dedication to studies is something evangelizing. And therefore, when you study your lessons well, not just for grade, but for life, you are loving the Lord with all your mind. And that is a missionary spirit. Commitment. How does commitment, the core value of commitment, be realized as a missionary spirit in the institution? You know, I just came from Rome to take the formation course of new bishops. There were about 150 of us coming from the different corners of the globe. And there were seven languages that we spoke. And at times, dili mi maka sinabot kaayo tungod kay naay uban nga dili kasabot sa in English. Naay uban makaistorya lang og Italian, Portuguese, Spanyol, French, German, Arabic. Mag-istorya ang usa sa in English, mutubag ang usa sa iyang kaugalingong lingwahe. How are you? Muy bien. How are you? Bene. Come stai? Bene. Thank you. And then the French will say, merci. Dunay panahon nga sa among pagkaon kay magpuli-puli man mig kauban sa paglingkod sa pagkaon. Nindot kayo kung maka-engage ka sa mga kasabot sa lingwahe nga imong may istorya. Pero struggle kayo kung bisag English di sila kasabot. Usahay, you will just spend the whole time, the meal time, being silent and just looking at each other smiling without saying any words, because in the first place we don't understand each other. Pero kami mga obispo nag-sharing mi sa kanagaling human sa hapit na matapos ang among formation course. Nag-sharing mi unya naka-mention nga bisan og dili magsinabtanay, you have to stay the whole duration of the meal time. You have to stay. Whether you enjoy or not, whether you can communicate or not, converse or not, you just have to stay. Bisag dili makasabot, you just have to stay. And I think that is a challenge to mission. There are many things that we do not understand, but the invitation is just to stay. Just to stay. I have been a student for so many years, no? From elementary to postgraduate, and I know what it means to stay in a situation nga magsulat ka sa imong thesis o paper na walay mosulod sa imo, sa imong huna-huna. At times when I was in Rome, studying in Rome, there were times when I was writing my doctoral dissertation for 1 week. I am just in front of the computer and I could not write anything. But I just have to stay because once the inspiration comes, pila ka pages ang imong matapos. Staying power is very important in missionary work. O importante siya because you are not just doing studies, you are also forming your values. Because once you graduate, you will be working. You will be with your family. You will have your own families. You might be working as government officials, as politicians, and there will be so many things that you cannot understand. But the invitation is, just stay put. Commitment. You are there and be there. I think Father Glenn experiences this. You know, when a leader sees something that God shows to him, at times it is very fearsome because he is inviting someone to enter into a path that is not familiar, a road that has no maps, especially the road to renewal, transformation, and change. And it is very fearsome because once the Lord entrusts you for this task of renewal, be ready that you will become unpopular and alone. And you will be misunderstood by people enjoying the status quo. But the book of Isaiah from chapter 66, which is the last chapter of the book of Isaiah, assures us that God will always reward His faithful ones. Victory is assured to Jerusalem. Jerusalem had been unfaithful before, but he tried to go back to the Lord, and the Lord assured Jerusalem of their victory. And as part of this institution, it is very important to open ourselves to this missionary spirit. And this missionary spirit will renew the face of the earth. The quality of our service, of our giving, that will lead to transformation. But transformation can only come if there are committed people who are willing to stay put, even if there are no immediate results. The consolation of a real missionary only comes from God, not from achievements, not from performance. They are good, but they are not the ultimate indicator of real joy. Our real joy comes from the knowledge that my name is written in the heart of God. And that is the only joy that I seek. That is the only joy that I will expect from God. after doing everything, humble service, transforming the workplace, and being committed to this missionary task in which Saint Therese serves as an edifying example how to do mission in the very place where we find ourselves. Amen.